strong is Wonder Glue? Why, it's strong enough to glue this man's head to the base of the Brooklyn Bridge. In fact, Wonder Glue can bond just about anything, from plastics to rubbers to metals to wood. There's no drips, no clogs, and no fuss. Just squeeze and apply. And how's our friend on the bridge doing? Well, it appears his body has detached from his neck. But look, his scalp is still there, stuck to the base of the bridge, just where we left it. That's because Wonder Glue's patented adhesive is guaranteed to last, no matter the situation. Wonder Glue. It works wonders.
Welcome to the Atomic Hour. I'm your host, Frank W. You may recognize my guest tonight simply by her soothing velveteen voice. She starred opposite of some of the biggest names in Hollywood, and her latest film, The Adventures of Captain Cosmos, is no exception. I'm speaking, of course, of the one, the only, Michelle Krukowski. How are you doing today, Michelle?
I'm doing wonderful, Frank. I'm pleased to be here.
Now, Michelle, up until now, most of your work has been in silent film. Is that correct?
I prefer to call it gesture-based storytelling. It's a very powerful thing, conveying one's emotions with only your body. Not everyone can pull it off.
Yes, and you've been known to go to extreme limits to do it. Didn't you bite your co-star's ear off in one movie?
That's right. In the silent movie business, we prefer to show rather than tell. And in that scene, I was showing him I was angry.
But biting him, isn't that a bit much?
Well, I was also a vampire.
In the movie?
No, in real life. I was going through a phase.
Ah, I see. But despite your storied career in silent film, you must still be excited about your first speaking role.
Actually, I don't have any lines.
You don't?
Frank, you have to keep in mind that Captain Cosmos is a period drama. And the period just happens to be centuries in the future, where most people communicate through telepathy. In the film, I play a psychic hedgehog.
It sounds riveting, Michelle. And while I'd like to hear more, I'm afraid we're all out of time. Tune in next week when we interview renowned holotape actor Ronald Reagan. Only on the Atomic Hour.
It's every girl's fantasy to have a pony of their own. They want one big enough to ride to school, with a mane they can brush, a smile they can love, and hind legs that can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Well, that fantasy has become a reality with Giddy Up Buttercup by Wilson. This life-size mechanical pony is the ultimate in equestrian robotics, featuring the same high-end hydraulics used in professional rodeo bulls. Your child will love brushing its authentic mane, genetically engineered for maximum softness. And, starting next week, the Giddy Up Buttercup can be yours for the low price of $15,999. But supplies are limited, so reserve one today and turn your girl's dreams into a dream come true.
Brad. Every morning, he starts his day by refusing to get out of bed. It isn't until his mother drags him out that he even bothers to open his eyes. Wake up, Brad. It's time for school. Oh, have you been putting on weight? Does she have to do this every morning, Brad? Even if you're a hopeless lout, at the very least you could stop being a burden to everyone else. Meanwhile, your sister Karen has already gotten dressed and even has time to set the dining table. It's not that Karen likes mornings. Far from it. But knowing this, she planned ahead by picking out her clothes the night before. And while she may be groggy, a bowl of sugar bombs and a dose of Mentats is all she needs to get ready for school. And Brad, notice how Karen is never late for the bus. On the other hand, it's clear by that dog trot that you've not only missed the bus, but your shoes are on the wrong feet. Now the neighbors are pointing and laughing, not just at you, but at your parents for having raised such a helpless, clumsy child. The embarrassment doesn't stop once you arrive at school. If you thought the neighbors were cruel, then you obviously weren't prepared for the jeers of your fellow classmates.
Nice shoes, Brad, you dingus.
Yeah, Brad, you dingus.
Perhaps you even resent Karen, who, with the help of her Mentats addiction, answered every question the teacher raised and got a perfect score on the recent test. After school, you find two of your classmates making eyes at each other. They're obviously having a private moment, but given your inability to read a room, let alone a book, you can't help but interrupt them.
Hey guys, what you up to?
Oh, hey, Brad. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Brad, we're kind of busy. Is there something you want?
Well, yeah, how's the weather?
The weather? Why don't you just look out the window and see for yourself?
That didn't go very well, now did it? Not only did you ruin Sally's first kiss, but worse yet, you added nothing to the conversation. It turns out you don't know the first thing about weather, Brad, so it would be smart to stop asking about it. Oh, please. It's a little late for tears, isn't it, Brad? You've had your whole life to prepare for this day, and now you've blown it. In the end, you have no one to blame but yourself. Does Brad remind you of anyone? If so, there's really only one way to prevent deviant behavior like this. Preparation. By planning ahead, you can avoid making the mistakes Brad makes, or at least give yourself more time to correct them. Remember, in life there are rarely any real surprises. There's only failure to prepare for them.
all know how much kids and adults alike love the great taste of Nuka-Cola Classic, Nuka Cherry, and Diet Nuke. And now it's our pleasure to announce to you the latest in soda flavor technology. Nuka-Cola Quantum, with 17 fruit flavors blended together with that signature cola taste. Nuka-Cola is the perfect soft drink for all occasions. With its new strontium additive, it's got that unique kick that'll keep you feeling fresh and radiant, whether it's for a day at the job or a night on the town. Nuka-Cola Quantum, twice the carbohydrates, twice the caffeine, and twice the taste.
Sonny, remember to be home by 6 today.
6? But I thought me and the fellas could go to the bar to watch the game.
There will be other games.
You don't understand, honey. It's not just any game. It's Yanks Sox. And the winner goes on to the World Series.
Not tonight. You know damn well my sister's coming over.
Well, why does she have to stay here? There's a perfectly good zoo down the street.
Sonny, that's enough.
Oh, okay. Maybe a zoo's a little too harsh, but what about a motel?
There's rats in that motel.
Which makes it perfect, given she's part snake. They might even give her the room for free.
Sonny, I'm not gonna stand for your insults. You either be home by 6 or you don't come home at all.
Why, I didn't know the circus was in town. You must be the bearded lady I've heard so much about.
And you must be the pig my sister married. How's life on the farm treating you?
Oh, can't complain. Maybe if you had a job like mine, you could afford an apartment of your own.
That's a laugh. Don't tell me you're actually proud of this shoddy excuse for a home.
It's got character, Jill. And bathroom mirrors. Something your place clearly doesn't have, seeing as you forgot to shave.
At least I have an excuse. You, on the other hand, have a bathroom and a sink, and you still haven't figured out how to brush your teeth. And for your information, I live in a high-rise condo. I'd invite you over, but the elevators aren't built to support planets your size.
That's it, I've had enough of you. Where's Margaret anyway? What, you send her to hell to pick up the rest of your luggage?
I was gonna ask you the same. I wanted to go watch the ballet, but she insisted I babysit you instead.
Wait, you don't want to be here either?
Of course not.
Then where the hell is Margaret?
Where's Sonny?
He couldn't make it. What's the score?
The Yanks are down 2 runs. I didn't know you liked baseball, Margaret.
Baseball I like. Pinstripes, not so much.
Junior, wake up. It's time for school.
Now, isn't that just like a teenager? You knock and knock, but you can't wake him up, so you decide to open the door when, uh-oh! He knows better than that. Stains all over those clean white sheets, and you have to wash it. Thankfully, there's Washo's magic whitener for all those tough, hard-to-clean stains. The other leading suds rely on harsh bleaches that can damage your clothing, but Washo leaves everything feeling as soft as it is clean. How, you ask? Well, if I told you that, I'd have to kill you, and use Washo to clean up the bloodstains. Because whether you're a homemaker or a hitman, with Washo there's magic in every box.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Celebrity dame shot dead. Cops suspect foul play. Extra, extra.
Yes, you'll read the headlines in all the papers. Lana Word, famed starlet, shot dead in her apartment. What the headlines won't tell you is the story that happened behind the scenes and the people who were a part of it. Like me, for instance, Joe Thompson. A promising, brilliant, handsome young writer whose genius has gone unrecognized for too long. And Marge, that beautiful dame who rebuffed the advances of said writer, probably because she's used to making poor life choices.
So, you're a writer, Joe. What have you published?
Well, I haven't published anything yet. But people have said I'm promising, brilliant, and handsome.
Oh, really? What people?
My mother, for one. Now leave me be. I've got a novel to write. Seriously, what a bitch. But this story isn't about that. Oh, it was originally. But it all changed when I got writer's block and decided to ask my agent for help. That agent referred me to the one and only Lana Worth. Actress, writer, iconoclast. It was Lana who helped turn this romance novel into a crime story for the ages.
I really love this story, you know. It's so honest. The only part I don't understand is the ending.
What's wrong with the ending?
Well,
Hey,
it's clear
you,
Marge and the
got a
protagonist have
sec?
no chemistry at all. So it's a bit odd that she chooses him over the
Does
others.
bashful mode come standard on all synths, or did you have to pay extra for that?
Heh, no. Only on me, and I suppose that's sort of the issue. I wouldn't normally bother you with this sort of thing, but, well, I know I can trust you at this point. For as long as I can remember, I've been getting these, flashes, memories of places I've never been, things I've never seen, memories of Nicks. They're not bad, they're just this inescapable reminder that I'm not the person I think I am, that I'm not a person at all. I'm just a machine, pretending to be human.
What kind of memories?
Everything. Old cases, old loves. I found myself running background on cases only to realize everyone involved's been dead for 200 years. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm in Nick's debt. These memories, they've kept me alive. Nick was a hell of a cop. A guy with good instincts and a good heart. I always counted myself lucky they didn't load me up with some ex-con, or whatever type might volunteer to let folks tinker with their gray matter. But it's thanks to Nick that I pass for human. Why I get to live cushy in Diamond City, and every other synth is shot on sight. I know I got it good, but my entire life I owe to Nick. Everything that makes me who I am. My judgment, my speech, hell, even my name. They're his. And I can't do a damn thing about it, because without them, I'm nothing. A shell. All I want is a life where I have something I can call my own.
You've already built a life for yourself, Nick. You've got the agency, a home, friends.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You know, I'm just gonna need some time to think on this. I appreciate you hearing me out. You're a real good friend. Thanks.
Hey.
I'll see what I can do. You know, there is this chunk of Nick Valentine history I've been hoping to put a bow on for a while now. I could use a hand if you're willing to take a crack at it.
Sure thing. What's the case?
Well, this one's straight out of the archives. Once upon a time, in the land of Boston, there lived a king of organized crime, Eddie Winter. He was a bad man who did a lot of bad things, hurt a lot of innocent people. But he knew the end was coming, so he sealed himself inside a personal shelter, located underneath the sub shop he used as a headquarters.
Eddie Winter was from my time. Real scumbag.
The story gets even more twisted. The arrogant bastard wanted to cheat death, live forever, so he could come out of that shelter someday into this brave new world. Sound familiar? Only Eddie didn't want to be a frozen banana. No cryo sleep for him, no. He invested his money in some sick, crazy radiation experiment.
You don't mean to tell me he used that radiation to...
That's right. Eddie Winter went and turned himself into a ghoul, 200 years before it was fashionable. Hell, he was probably the first one. And I'm convinced that he's still locked inside that shelter, safe and sound, ready to come out and begin his evil reign all over. I'm gonna find him and kill him, so that never happens. You in?
I don't get it, Nick. Why kill Eddie Winter, even if he is still alive? This sounds like some kind of vendetta.
I've got memories of a girl. My girl. They're not really my memories, I know that. They're Nick's. But the girl, she was real. She was beautiful and innocent, and Winter killed her. Now he's got to pay the price. So, knowing that, are you in?
All right, Nick. Let's get the bad guy.
You're a good man. Now, I know where Winter's vault is, but the door is sealed with a complex numerical code. Lucky for us, Winter's arrogance knew no bounds. Back in the day, he recorded 10 holotapes, incriminating different criminal associates. On each one, he hit a single number. We find all of those holotapes, we get all the numbers. We get all the numbers, we get the code. And then we get Winter. I've been putting together a file on this one for a while now. There's a pair of holotapes in here worth listening to, including one of Winter's that I managed to snatch from the Cambridge Police evidence lockup before getting swarmed by ferals. On my way out the door, I spotted an active evidence terminal. I'll bet my hat that terminal is the key to finding the rest of the tapes. Probably worth revisiting any police departments you may have stumbled across in your travels as well.
All she needed from her audience was just a sliver of...
Over here.
A tiny suspension of disbelief.
Nick.
How we doing on the hunt for Eddie's tapes?
So when she told me about the horror that lived inside
Still searching for them.
Just let me know when you manage to get your hands on them. Good to keep going?
I knew her better
I don't
than
sleep
anyone.
or eat or anything like that.
Oh,
But if you
she
need to,
kept at
you
it.
do it.
She knew quite well that I was immune to her wild fits of fancy, and it would take more than a good story to make me believe. Naturally, she had no real proof. It was always at the dead of night, never when anyone else was around. The terminal would turn itself on and type these strange, cryptic messages. She couldn't tell me what it said, because she didn't understand the words.
How?
Then there was the other side.
I think I might have pulled a muscle or
The
something.
ever-bending truth that lay in the content of those messages. She would scribble them down every night until she had notebooks full of what she believed to be an ancient and unknown language. She was committed to this lie, that much was for sure. So committed, in fact, that I could hear her in the dead of night, typing and scribbling. She became distant, aloof, to the point that I had to struggle to maintain my disbelief. Yet the day she disappeared, I was sure it was another hoax. I knew that the moment I believed her, the second I gave in, she would show up at the door and proclaim she'd got the better of me. But she never did. Even now, when I sleep in her room, listening to her terminal type, I find it all too hard to believe. How can I? Because if this translation is correct, and what it says is true, then there's nothing I can do to save her.
Identity confirmed.
Try not to sever anything you might miss.
Hey.
I'm listening.
Are you suffering from debt and financial trouble? If so, ask your nearby People's Bank for a jar of soothing instant money in the form of a personal loan. Just apply the money directly to the problem area, whether it's your mortgage, the electric bill, or the hole in your wallet, for instant relief from stress, headaches, and crippling poverty. Yes, that's Money. And the best place to find it is at the People's Bank, the leading savings and loan institution in the continental United States.
Hey, are you Dr. Hall?
I am. And you must be Mr. Richards. Dr. Salinger told me you'd be coming in.
What? Did he tell you I was a loony?
He didn't tell me anything. Just your name, your age, and the phone number of a good plumber.
Why a plumber?
My toilet's backed up. I've been having to use the office bathroom instead.
I see. And you promise you won't put me in a straitjacket?
I won't put you in anything. However, my colleagues at Parsons might be inclined to, provided you're actually ill.
Suppose it doesn't matter anyway. I won't live much longer at this rate.
And why is that?
You watch baseball, Doctor?
Of course. Who in Boston doesn't watch baseball?
Well, do you ever watch the games? Feel like you have control over the outcome?
I'd say that's fairly common. Superstition and sports go hand in hand.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, you realize that whatever you do, it doesn't really matter. I can't stop thinking, what if I'm wrong? What if I really have the power to change things?
Is that why you're not wearing any clothes?
Yeah, Doc, the more clothes I wear, the harder it is for us to score. I put on a sock, and the Bombers hit a double. Take it off, we strike out the side.
But it's got to be less than 30 degrees outside. You'll die of hypothermia.
I know, but if I cost us the first championship since 1918, then the entire city will have me in the electric chair. There's no way out, Doc. It's heads you win, tails I lose.
Mr. Richards, no team has come back from a 3-0 deficit in the history of sports. My medical opinion, you should put on some pants.
What if they lose? What if it's all riding on me?
As a season ticket holder, if we lose, I promise you, Mr. Richards, I'll shoot you myself. But it won't come to that. It just won't.
I heard there's a new patient in Ward C. Supposedly, he thinks he's the reason we lost the World Series. I tell you, give him enough rope and a bottle of chems, and some people will believe just about anything. That's the thing, though. This wasn't some homeless person or addict. It was a respected psychiatrist, Dr. Chase Hall. You don't say. A shrink in the loony bin. Now that'll liven things up around here. Sure as hell beats watching baseball.
barely tell us apart.
Well, that ends another patrol. The streets of Boston are safe.
Stop right there. Or should I
Yes, sir.
say, freeze.
Good God! The Siberian shiver! But I locked you up.
Yes, you did. But I escaped. And I have been plotting my revenge ever since. And you know how
Hey.
revenge
There's
is
something you
deserved?
need?
Cold.
Yes, I'm familiar with the phrase. And what deviously icy plan have you chilled up this time?
Heads up.
Do something for you?
Your car
Give
into
us
an
something?
icebox. And with your engine in shambles, you won't be making it home tonight. And when you're late for work tomorrow, everyone will know your secret. And I do not mean the Caitlin side.
Ah, you silly little man. Do you think I wouldn't be prepared for such a scenario?
No, it can't be.
That's right. I put Suprathaw antifreeze in this engine, which means lasting protection from extreme conditions. Conditions like the blast from your frost ray.
Damn you, Tropic Man. Damn you, equatorial temperatures from now until the end of time.
Don't damn me. Damn the good folks at Suprathaw. Their antifreeze really saved the day. And it can save you too.
Coming to a theater near you, it's Teenagers from Outer Space. It's a horror movie 1,000 times more terrifying than anything you've ever seen. High on hormones, deliriously full of drugs, these teens are on a ray-gun rampage you won't believe. Just who do you think you are anyway?
I'm a teenager from space.
Watch as legions of irresponsible young adults terrorize this small town with one hormone-induced gambit after another.
What is it, Danny? What's got you so terrified?
I've been told.
Marge,
that
statistics say
Valentine
there's
detected
nothing more dangerous than a teenager behind the wheel. Now, imagine that teenager behind the wheel of a flying saucer.
Oh my god. We have to do something.
We can't do anything. Don't you see? The insurance policies won't cover it. Will Danny and Marge survive this invasion? Will they keep their teenage daughter from falling in love with her reckless alien captors? Find out in this one-of-a-kind motion picture event. Teenagers from Outer Space.
There's no mistaking it. The smell of gray tortoise cigarettes is a natural aphrodisiac. The kind that drives women wild. But what if you're not a smoker? Or what if you're in a restaurant where cigarettes aren't allowed? Now she's bored, yawning, and making eyes at the waiter. There's only one way to keep her interested and keep you smelling like a man. Gray tortoise cologne. In every bottle, you'll find the same rich tobacco odors you'll find in every gray tortoise cigarette. Just one spray, and you'll have her on your lap, unable to control her nicotine cravings. In fact, she'll be hopelessly addicted to you. Gray tortoise cologne. That same great cigarette smell in a bottle.
I don't ask for much. Just need a full bottle and some bones to break.
Got work to do. Can't talk now.
What's that over there, rustling in the bushes? It looks like an adult male, roughly between the age of 20 and 45. And what's that black device in his hand? Why, it's a camera, and it's aimed right at your bedroom. Now you might think this is just a bit of monkey business, that boys will be boys, but these actions go beyond mere adolescent hormones. For this is the behavior of a swarm.
Don't do anything stupid.
Anything I can lug for you?
If you need fixing up, let's get a look at you.
Could use some supplies, actually.
All right, but go easy on the chems.
Ugh, that guy. He burns me up.
Don't get angry. Bill's having a tough time. He's upset. Emotionally upset. Just like a baby.
Well, he should be. The man's over 40 years old.
I realize that, but he can't help it. He's mentally ill. In his heart.
How true that is. People who overreact to minor situations may be emotionally ill. It's not because they want to be. It's because they have to be. But remember, these people can be saved. Sometimes it comes in the form of a sympathetic ear, or general human kindness. Other times it comes in the form of professional help, like therapy or a mental institution. When that time comes, Parsons State Insane Asylum is here to help. Our technicians are fully trained in the latest mental
Hey.
health techniques to guide your loved ones on the path
I'm
to
all
wellness.
ears.
Stop by our facilities and get a tour of the campus today.
Hey.
Juan, how we doing on the hunt for Eddie's tapes?
Still searching for them.
Just let me know when you manage to get your hands on them.
Quite a store you've got here.
Well, I do what I can. One man's junk is another man's treasure.
Dog meat.
All that.
Yeah. Say,
Come on,
let
boy.
me ask you something.
It's time to
Where's
go.
the best place to stay here in town?
Why, that would be the Statesman Hotel, just across the street.
And what if I was a Nazi?
What?
I don't think
If I
we've
was
met
a
yet.
Nazi, what would be the best hotel to stay in?
Why would you want to know that?
Because I'm tracking one.
I just need to trade
If I
gear
was
with you.
tracking a
Of course.
God-fearing American, I'd stay at the Statesman. But I'm not, am I? I'm looking for a Nazi.
Can we trade a few things?
And he's
Sure.
probably staying at a Nazi hotel.
Well, that would probably be the Waldorf on 22nd.
Thank you, sir. And God bless America. My God, it's you. It's really you.
Yes, it's me. How did you know I was alive?
I heard rumors. Ghost Philly hinting that you'd made a life here.
This unit is...
Of all places.
Why not? It's the perfect cover. Who'd have thought that I, the notorious son of Hitler, would be marrying the president's daughter?
That's a little bold, don't you think? There will be much public exposure.
Yes. Imagine their surprise when they also find out I'm having an affair with her mother, the First Lady.
But if someone recognizes you, you can at least shave the mustache.
The mustache is a family heirloom.
But it's a Hitler mustache.
It's a Howard mustache now. But yes, it'll be a Hitler mustache soon enough, when I give the order to invade.
Is what they're saying true, Howard?
Yes, Loretta, it's true. I'm the son of Hitler.
What?
Wait, that's not what you're here for. What's this all about?
It's about your affair with my mother. But suddenly, that doesn't seem all that important.
So what happens now? Are you going to turn me in? Your own fiancé, the father of your half-sister!
Well, if you put it that way, then. Yes.
Fine. Call whatever passes for a Gestapo in this country. But know this. I'm the son of one of the greatest military tacticians in the history of mankind. You'll never catch me alive!
So you caught him alive?
Yep.
And he was really staying at the Waldorf?
Nope. The Statesman. The last place anyone would look.
Smart. So how did you catch him?
Easy. I looked everywhere else first. And when I was done doing that, I got a phone call from his fiancée, telling me the number of his hotel room.
How about that? You're a real sleuth. You know that?
Of course. But I'm an American first.
Yes?
I'm gonna run some diagnostics while you're tinkering.
Attention, Space Cadets.
Take your
Here's
time.
an urgent message for Secret Squadron members. B-U-T-T-Z. I repeat. B-U-T-T-Z.
You know what I call a good day?
Over.
One that ends without an
Here's a
empty
message.
stomach.
Now to decode it. How do you do that? I can't show you, because you're not a member of the Secret Squadron, Judy. Only members get the new Silver Dart decoder. Can girls join too?
Yes, they can. But in your case, Judy, I'm gonna make an exception. But to all other children who aren't Judy, you're welcome to join Space Fleet's Secret Squadron at any time. Just cut out the postcard that's included on the back of every pack of sugar bombs. And when you join, you'll get a membership card and a Space Fleet pin, as well as instructions on how to use your decoder ring. Of course, there's one message you don't need to decipher, and that's the nutritional information on the side of the box. After all, sugar bombs has already been cleared by Space Fleet's medical staff, so you know it's good and good for you. This is Admiral Midnight for Space Fleet, signing off.
Critics and moviegoers agree, On the Waterfront is the greatest film of our time.
You want my philosophy in life? Do it to him before he does it to you. Then do it to his sister while you're at it.
Why his sister?
I don't know. Insult to injury.
Okay, I think I get it. So, if I'm walking past a homeless person, I should ask him for change.
No, that's not what I meant.
But you said do it to him. I'm asking him for money before he has the chance to ask me.
Look, it doesn't apply to everything. The point is, I'm a tough guy. What do you want, Father?
Your confession. Also, you're double crossed, and I need the space.
Tell it to Jesus, if you want. I can deliver it to him.
Is that your solution for everything? Violence?
It used to be. But now I make an exception.
The detective's life isn't an easy
And
one.
last time I
Rarely
checked,
laughs
Father,
for excitement.
you got a roof over your head.
We've got the baddest bullies and the baddest harbor in the world. And you ain't so bad.
You ain't so bad yourself, Lee.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying I ain't so bad as in I'm a nice guy?
Yeah. Wait, what are you saying?
You know who the pistols are. In fact, there's one of them right in this room. We all know who he is, but we're afraid to say his name. And why? Because he'll shoot us? Well, that's probably a pretty good reason, but that's my parking space, and he has no right to take it. It's a love story with brass knuckles. A heartwarming children's movie with gore and violence. It's the one motion picture you must see. On the Waterfront. want the real story, the kind with deep angles and sharp writing, there's no better place to get it than the front page of the Boston Bugle. For just $25 an issue, you'll get the kind of hard-nosed investigative journalism you won't find anywhere else. That's because our reporters are on the street, getting their notepads dirty while the anchormen on television are fixing their makeup. That's right, even the men. Read award-winning columns by Buster Connolly, Mags Ficcio, and Tim Stahl. They've won Pulitzer Prizes, regional prizes, and the prize for Best in Show for journalism. That's the Boston Bugle, the most reliable in all the Commonwealth. Buy a subscription today.
Not many doctors around these days. You should let me take a look at you.
Could use some supplies, actually.
Let's see what I can spare.
Rather be off murdering a pint, but this'll do.
If you work, you eat. It's as simple as that.
The farm's not much, but it's something. If you need a weapon, you've come to the right place.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Here's what I've got.
Timmy, where's your brother? He was supposed to be at practice an hour ago.
Golly, Coach, if I had to take a guess, he's probably behind the bleachers making whoopee with Molly Gunderson.
I suppose
Try
it
not
can't
to
be
sever
helped.
anything you
Boys
might
will
miss.
be boys.
I'm a boy. Does that mean I can make whoopee too?
Not for another couple of years, I'm afraid.
But how will I know when it's my time to go behind the bleachers?
Oh, you'll know. Believe me. You'll start to notice, well, changes to your body, so to speak.
Are you talking about my wiener, Coach?
As a matter of fact, Timmy, I am. See, when you reach adolescence, certain parts of you will grow and mature, that included.
Well, what if it doesn't?
Well, you can always do like I did and buy yourself a nice big pickup truck to compensate.
I'm just a paper boy, Coach. I don't think I can afford a truck.
I wouldn't worry about that just yet, Timmy. But if you're really curious, look at what your father drives and plan accordingly.
Wow, Coach, you're really smart. I bet you spend every night behind the bleachers.
Only because I'm homeless, Timmy. Now you run along and play, and when you see your brother, remind him that baseball is more than just a euphemism.
I will, Coach. Thanks.
See a lot of folks at their worst in my line of work. Hard to not let it get to you sometimes.
Huh?
Building the perfect home for you and your family takes hard work and dedication. But great home design ideas don't come from hard work or even your head. They come from Picket Fences magazine. For just $32.99 an issue, you'll have access to the latest advancements in interior decorating and lawn care. Pretty soon, you'll be the envy of all your neighbors, and with our help, you can learn to build a fence so high that you'll never have to see them again. Because your home is your castle, and with Picket Fences, you can make it feel like one. Picket Fences. Welcome home.
Is the electromagnetic shielding up? Without it, the machine might malfunction.
It's up. Not that it'll help much, given the other dozen or so parts that could fail in its place.
Dr. Sanders, I get the distinct feeling you don't share my enthusiasm for this project.
Dr. Jones, I'd like to think of the 20 years we've been together, I've given you a lot. I've given you my time, my sweat, and my expertise. I even gave you my secret recipe for banana bread. Not that you'd know how to use it, but the one thing I won't give you is my enthusiasm. Not when you choose to risk your life for this experiment.
Risk is a part of life, Doctor. You take a risk when you eat your sugar bombs in the morning, when you drive your Corvega, and when you cheat on your husband. Every second is a dice roll. The only saving grace is that you have some semblance of control. But when it comes to nuclear war, to radioactive fallout and the end of days, you have no choice. Your fate is left to the hands of two men with their fingers on the button, and you know there's only a matter of time before one of them pushes it. That's why we built our own machine, with our own button. One that will send me back in time, and when you press it, nothing will ever be the same.
Dr. Jones, you have my attention. What is this urgent message you wish to relay?
Mr. President, I want you to take your finger off the button.
I'm sorry, but what button?
You know which one. The one you use in the event of an invasion. The button that fires the nukes.
Dr. Jones, you do realize there isn't an actual button, right?
What do you mean?
Dr. Jones, there's no big red button to fire a nuclear arsenal. The generals, they make a recommendation, then I give the authorization to launch.
You're wrong, Mr. President. I'm positive there's a button somewhere. And with the way things are going, it's only a matter of time before you push it. I know these things because, well, go ahead and ask me how I know.
All right. I'm gonna indulge you. How do you know?
Because I'm a time traveler.
Dr. Jones, that is quite frankly the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
And yet it's the truth. Listen to me, Mr. President. Do not press the button.
I think I've heard quite enough. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Who do you think actually won the war?
How did it go?
Nobody,
I couldn't change a thing. I went to a dozen critical points in history, as far back as the invention of the button itself, and I couldn't convince a single person I was a time traveler, not even your husband.
Well, you can hardly... Wait, what?
You think after I told him about the affairs and the drugs, he would... Well, it doesn't matter. I'm beginning to think the past can't be changed, which means we have no choice but to accept this future.
So, what do we do now?
All we can do is hope. If the president doesn't know where the button is, it's possible he'll never get the chance to press it. To ignorance, Dr. Sanders. It's humanity's greatest weakness and its saving grace.
We can do this the easy way? What do you want? You're gonna do what I say. Get over here. We can do this the easy way? Don't shoot me. Get over here. No funny business.
I heard you. Let's just stay calm.
You, here, now. go. No funny business.
Waking up
What do you want
is
from me?
fun. You're tired,
Don't make
groggy,
me pull the... Don't
you hate
shoot.
your
Just
job,
do what I
your
say.
marriage is in shambles,
Hope you were
and
smarter
you have
than
sleeping
this.
suspicions your children are drug addicts.
I'm done with you.
How would anyone want to get
Wait
out
for
and
the
play out
Friday.
such a miserable existence?
You, here, now.
Fortunately for you, the Wakemaster alarm clock is so loud, so
Get over here.
infuriatingly
I'm
noisy
done with you.
that you'll have
Let
no
me go.
choice but to get out of bed and run 3 miles just to get the ringing out of your ears. With its password-encrypted snooze button, this precise, state-of-the-art alarm clock will never fail to wake you up, saving you and your family from your own existential dread. The Wakemaster alarm clock, now in 3 colors: platinum, yellow, and lime green.
From $1 a dance to a place in the spotlight. From the cold lap of a stranger to the hot lap of luxury. Edith Renning, a determined girl, climbed out of the seedy underpants of Chicago and into the nation's sweater vest. The very same sweater that warms the heart. But behind the fabric, Edith Renning had a secret. Her rise to stardom was launched by a catapult named Murder. Her partner in crime, a lab-created monster whose strength was as infinite as his shadow. A mutant.
Kill them all! Kill them all! Let me help you, Edith. I'll get you to the right people, and they'll work with you because they'll want you. And they won't have to have their arms ripped out or their head crushed by a sledgehammer. They'll want you because you're good. Oh, try it, Edith.
I can rest
Try it
easy
that
knowing
way.
that Wolfgang is
For me.
rotten in hell. Thank you. Do you need anything?
I've got a few minutes to browse.
All salvage, but nothing's junk.
It's a rag to riches story where fame has a price. It's about life in the fast lane, with a past riding in the backseat offering directions. It's Love Me or Leave Me, a movie about real people, real dreams, and one mutant.
Heads up. Go ahead.
Oh dear. How am I going to get this stain out?
A problem for every housewife. You just cooked a wonderful roast for your family, and now comes the hard part. Tough, greasy stains on your dishes, counters, and all over your skin. My dear, what do you
Anyone
use
you
for
walk
Braxton
away from.
industrial grade scouring powder? It works with any surface to remove dirt and hard to clean grease. And you know it works because it was made by the scientists at Robco.
But I thought Rubco made robots, not cleaning supplies.
Robco makes a lot of things.
We'll be
But
taking that.
more than anything, Robco makes you happy.
I do feel much better now that I made the switch to Abraxo. And look, my counters are as white as Mary in the manger.
I wouldn't go that far, Susan, but your counters look splendid. And Abraxo isn't just for kitchen countertops. It's made to work with robots, pets, and even your own children.
My dogs are filthy, almost as dirty as my son. I can wash them with Abraxo powder too.
Yes, you can. That's because Abraxo is a mixture of naturally occurring borax and hand soap, which means any skin irritation you feel is just as Mother Nature intended.
That sounds amazing. I think I'll buy 10. No, 20 boxes.
Good for you, Susan, but leave some for the folks at home. So, if you're in need of an all-purpose cleaner for your counters, bathtubs, and children, try Abraxo scouring powder today. Abraxo, for all your household needs.
anything this beautiful, I assure you.
Did you ever stop to think about how much leisure time you have? Some of us put this time to good use. And then there's Michael. He doesn't do anything constructive with his time. Instead, he chooses to lie on his bed and look at naughty pictures. Stop that, Michael. God is watching you.
Well, what am I supposed to do then? I went down to the bowling alley and I hung out at the drugstore. None of the gang was there. So I just sit here and wait for supper.
Michael doesn't realize how lucky he is. Most of his friends don't even have time to be bored. They spend their days working, whether it's at home or on the job. Even those who don't have jobs find something productive to do. Dave, for instance, spends his day at the park identifying birds. It's a pleasant way to pass time and helps him remain abstinent by making him unattractive to his fellow classmates. Here's Mei Ying, who spends her leisure time learning how to sew. That's something she'll be glad she did when she's older, working in a sweatshop in her native China. And right now, she gets a big kick out of it. And lastly, here's John, who spends his time playing the piano. He's getting a lot of pleasure from his own accomplishment, the lasting kind you don't get from your pin-up girls.
So that's what they're all doing. No wonder I couldn't find him. I guess I should figure out something to do with my time. But how do I know I'm using that time well?
It's always good to start with something that interests you, as well as things you have a talent for.
You know what? I'm really good at drawing. What if I worked on my sketches?
Heads up.
That's a start.
I'm listening.
And what if I drew
Over
them
here.
naked?
Can do.
Then I wouldn't need to spend money on those magazines.
That is not what I meant, Michael.
Thanks,
Here's
mister.
what I've got.
You've been a real help. I'll get my pencil and start right away.
Look
and
alive.
Maybe someday, I might even make a business out of it.
Well, what about it? Will his hobby give Michael a chance to change? Can he learn while doing it and perhaps prepare himself for better
Look
living?
alive.
And what goals do you have for your leisure time? Will you let time slip away from you, or will you use it well?
You building a collection or something?
We'll secure the area.
I'm out of town, my girlfriends always ask me, how do I stay so thin? My secret is actually really simple. Nuka-Cola soda. It has the same amount of calories as your average pitcher without all the fat or calories of actually eating one. In fact, refreshing taste of Nuka-Cola really quenches my thirst and keeps me from
I've got to get back to Vault 81.
Hey.
This is the last time I'm volunteering for one of these
so
expeditions.
Much energy, I want to jog around the park. Not that I need to, because if I was any thinner, I'd be practically invisible. So if you're like me and don't like going on a lengthy diet, head on over to your local grocery store and buy a bottle of Nuka-Cola today. Your waistline will thank you.
Off this island. It's inhumane.
I'm sorry, Phil, but the state says there's no room for you in a normal prison. I realize it can be difficult living under these conditions, but look at the bright side. You've got a lot more space than the boys in solitary.
It's not the space, Danny. It's the loneliness. Like I'm losing my mind on this godforsaken rock.
I know. Every time I bring you supplies, you look more and more crazy. To be honest, I'm surprised you haven't killed yourself already.
Then do something! Talk to the state! Get them to grant me a pardon!
I'll try, Phil. But I don't think it'll happen. Not until the public outcry subsides. So in the meantime, I've brought you something else that I think might help with the loneliness. In fact, she's standing right over there.
Oh my god! You brought me a woman! Someone to talk to, play games with, be my friend!
Sure. That's what she is, a woman. Now, do me a favor and don't switch her on until I've left. This is strictly off the books, and I don't want anyone on the
Message to Claire Pazinski. Time to start thinking about a vacation. How does 6 weeks in Ireland sound to you? Dublin, Galway Bay, Waterford. Maybe a week in that little bed and breakfast in Kilkenny. And don't worry, we don't have to take my cousin Stephen with us. Let him get out of the country on his own. I told him to threaten that cop, not blast him in the face with a shotgun. He can rot in that abandoned fishery down in Union Wharf for all I care. Love you. Eddie Winter, signing off.
Don't make them like they used to. Say the word if you want me to take a look at that terminal. Do something. Inside, you got, You need some stems? Found some over here.
Think you can unlock that terminal?
Count on it. Well, they locked the door tight, but did they leave open a window? Let's see about this. Huh. All right. Let's try a slightly different approach. I think this one's beyond me.
Hey.
I'll see what I can do.
Hell yeah.
Isn't the chicken lucky that eggs are the shape they are? Why, imagine if that egg was shaped like a square, or worse yet, a banana. That would be a cruel joke indeed. And aren't you lucky that yum-yum deviled eggs are the same? Perfectly round and contoured. Each egg is hard-boiled to perfection and stuffed with generous helpings of mayonnaise, salt, and mustard. From the hen to the yum-yum dairy case, they're kept fresh all the way. So they're grade A all the way. Just look at how happy Mother Hen is to see her children. Seasoned and ready to eat. Right out of the box. And she knows they're guaranteed fresh because of the label. After all, who but Yum Yum sells eggs even a chicken could love?
When a city is besieged by bandits and is squeezed into the aid of a magic man, only one man can be counted on to retrieve it. Grognak the Barbarian. Yet this is no ordinary genie, for his lamp has been buried for 1,000 years in cursed sand.
Oh, great and powerful genie, please grant my wish. My kingdom is at the mercy of bandits, and only your power can save it.
I will grant your wish, Queen. But in exchange, you and your people will submit to my rule.
So you'd make us all your slaves? That's not what I asked for at all.
Isn't it? You asked me to save you from the bandits. At no point did you specify the terms.
Tell me, you bag of hot air, can a genie grant his own wish?
I don't see why not.
Good, because when Grognak is through with you, you'll wish you'd never been born! And now, hero, defeat the genie and the bandit horde, or has the kingdom trapped itself in the walls of its own wish? Find out in this forthcoming presentation of Grognak the Barbarian in Demon Slay, Demon Dance.
Show your face. Come on. There you.
Hello?
Rain, it's Paulie.
Paulie! So good to hear your voice. I bet you're calling to tell me you got into CID. Your mother thought it was a waste of time, but I knew you were smart enough.
No, Bran, I didn't get into CID. I'm in prison.
Prison? Oh, I'm sure it's not a big deal. Everyone in town knows you're a good boy.
It is a big deal, Rain. I boosted a car and they're saying it's a felony. And they're gonna try me as an adult.
Well, how about that? An adult. And all summer you complained how you haven't grown as much as the rest of the boys. The people at the station can see it plain as day. You're a man now.
That's not a good thing. I can get 20 years.
I hear the prison has some good work programs available.
Hey, toss anything you
Valuable
can't haul my
training
way.
while the other kids are busy studying philosophy and social science.
Bran, that's all well and good, but I need you to bail me out. I only have one phone call.
And you did well to call your grand. Listen, my grandson is no quitter. You tell those men at the police station you want to stay
only have one phone call, make sure it counts. If you only have one phone service, make sure it's Bosscom phone and television.
Hey, what? What's the plan? Damn. Nothing. I don't think we're alone. All right. Someone's coming.
John, you better be worth it.
Just when I thought we were getting along. Hey, there's some... Something you need?
Gosh, Molly, you sure are good at shooting. I haven't seen you miss the bullseye once.
Oh, Ted, I'm not normally this good. I just happen to be on my period.
Your period? What's that?
It's something all girls my age have to go through. It means blood is coming out of my uterus, which in turn increases my aggression and focus.
Golly, I wish I could have my period soon. I'm a lousy shot.
Ted, you can't have a period.
Why not?
Because you're a boy. Menstruation isn't just about becoming the world's deadliest shot. It also means you're ready for childbirth.
That's not fair. I want to shoot things just as good as you can.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but you're just gonna have to learn the old-fashioned way.
Oh, all right. But what changes for boys? If I don't get a period, what do I get?
You get to grow a beard. It doesn't matter how many periods I have, I'll never be able to do that.
Oh, phooey. What's so great about a beard anyways? Does it make me a better athlete?
Maybe not, but it's really helpful when you're sad and depressed. It lets people know things aren't going right.
Kind of like right now? I feel awful rotten not having my period.
Pretty much, Ted. But you'll be happy to know that periods aren't just about being good at sports. There's pros and cons.